If you wait for total non farm payrolls to turn negative before calling for a recession, you'll be right every single time, but useful none of the time. Across the last three recessions, manufacturing jobs peaked an average of 29 months before the downturn officially started. Construction jobs had an average lead time of 9 months. The headline number gives you virtually zero warning. The economy has 158 million payrolls, but only 13% of them really matter for recessions. Construction and manufacturing are the 21 million jobs in the economy responsible for nearly all the booms and busts. They account for virtually 100% of private sector job losses in recessions and have the longest average warning signal. They move first and they move the most. In this video, we'll highlight the importance of construction and manufacturing jobs as the driver of recessions, and also your best warning signal, and also why focusing on total non-farm payrolls or even the larger service sector jobs is a terrible idea. Total non-farm payrolls can be split between government and private sector jobs. Within the private sector, there are 9 major sectors. This chart shows a flow chart of total non-farm payrolls, peeling back the layers to arrive at the most important areas of the labor market. After the split between private jobs and government jobs, there are what we call cyclical jobs, or construction and manufacturing, and everything else, or what we call non-cyclical jobs. There's another layer below construction and manufacturing, the split between residential and non-residential, and the split between durable goods and non-durable goods. Before getting too specific, we have to establish why construction and manufacturing jobs are the only sectors that truly matter for recessionary developments. This chart shows the 9 main private sector categories and their respective average growth rate during expansionary and recessionary periods. The difference between the average expansionary growth rate and average recessionary growth rate is what we call the expansion-recession spread. Construction has the largest spread, over 12%, closely followed by manufacturing. Together, these two sectors are only 15.5% of private sector payrolls, but the volatility or the difference in behavior during expansions and recessions is way larger than any other sector in the economy. 60% of private sector jobs are what we call mildly cyclical, showing a modest spread in performance between expansions and recessions. The remaining 25% of the private sector labor market is completely stable, showing virtually no difference in performance between expansions and recessions, with the largest component of this group being education and healthcare services. Construction and manufacturing are clearly in a category of their own, driving all the cyclicality or all the booms and busts, while the rest of the labor market, over 100 million jobs, experiences very little decline during recessionary periods. Hiring conditions may change for these non-cyclical jobs. There may be times when it's harder or easier to get hired, but massive and sustained job losses in these categories are a byproduct of the damage in the cyclical sectors, not a warning sign. This chart plots the decline in construction and manufacturing jobs and the decline in all jobs. In every recession from 1970 through 2001, construction and manufacturing lost more jobs than the rest of the economy. That means all jobs excluding construction and manufacturing actually added jobs throughout the recession. This table shows the total job losses in construction and manufacturing and the total private sector job losses in each recession. In 4 of the last 7 recessions, cyclical jobs accounted for more than 100% of private sector job losses. In 2 of the last 7 recessions, cyclical jobs were more than 90% of total job losses. The 2008 financial crisis showed that cyclical jobs accounted for 52.9% of private sector job losses, but only because the recession became so severe and morphed into a banking crisis, which led to job losses everywhere. Even so, cyclical jobs accounted for 53% of all job losses, even though they represented just 18% of private sector jobs at the end of 2007. If the importance of construction and manufacturing jobs over everything else is not already clear, this chart shows cyclical job losses and job losses for all private sector jobs excluding construction and manufacturing. The importance of a sector, particularly for the labor market, is not tied to size. Just because we're a services economy by size doesn't mean that those jobs are more important for the business cycle. Just because construction and manufacturing account for only 13% of private payrolls today doesn't mean they won't account for more than 50% of all job losses in the next recession. This chart shows the longest streak each sector had without year over year job losses on the left and the percent of time each sector spends in contraction on the right. Of course, important in this context doesn't mean socially important, it means important for business cycle dynamics. Education and healthcare jobs had a streak of 687 months without year over year job losses, which is over 57 years. The streak would have been even longer had it not been for the pandemic, which is what ended that particular streak. Education and healthcare jobs have only contracted in 1.6% of the months since 1963. Compare this to construction, which had a max streak of 106 months and contracts 26.5% of the time, or manufacturing, which has a max streak of 67 months and contracts almost 50% of the time. Since we know there are sectors that virtually never contract, why should we include them in the analysis of recessionary dynamics? Their stability dilutes the signal under the hood that develops in the more volatile, economy-sensitive sectors. Construction and manufacturing move the most, and they move first. This is the signal. From peak to trough, across 7 recessions, construction jobs declined an average of 12.7%. Manufacturing declined an average of 11.3%. The next closest sector in terms of percentage decline during recessions is information technology, with an average decline of 5.4%. Financial activities, leisure and hospitality, education, healthcare, and other services all show an average decline of less than 2% in recessionary periods. Construction and manufacturing clearly decline the most. They also decline the earliest. Manufacturing jobs peaked ahead of the last 3 recessions with an average lead time of 29 months. Some of this is due to the secular decline in manufacturing jobs, but even if we normalize for that factor, manufacturing is still at the top of the list in terms of lead time. Construction jobs peaked an average of 9 months ahead of the last 3 recessions, with a 20-month lead time ahead of the 2008 recession. Technology ranks second on this list, but it only declined ahead of 1 recession, 2008, and this was still an artifact of the 2001 recession when the tech sector shed jobs for over a decade straight. So this is not really a reliable signal. The point is that construction and manufacturing jobs decline the most and decline the earliest, and provide the only true cyclical or recessionary signal in the labor market. Construction and manufacturing account for just 13% of private sector payrolls today. But those 21 million jobs are the most important in the entire economy in terms of business cycle or recessionary signals. The rest is noise. Within construction and manufacturing, we can narrow it down even further. Durable goods have a much larger expansion recession spread than non-durables, 12.2% versus 5.8%. Durables also carry 7.8 million jobs compared to 4.7 million for non-durables. Durable goods are more cyclical and larger than non-durable goods, and thus the most important component within the manufacturing sector. Residential building and non-residential building each hold a bit less than 950,000 jobs today, almost the same size. But residential jobs are far more cyclical, carrying a much larger expansion recession spread. Residential construction is more interest rate sensitive and faster moving than non-residential construction, making it the more important focus within the construction sector. The economy has 158 million payrolls, and the jobs report that the media scrutinizes each month treats all of these jobs as equal. But the business cycle runs on the narrow slice of construction and manufacturing jobs that account for up to 100% of all job losses during recessionary periods, with residential construction and durable goods manufacturing driving the largest swings. Focusing on the headline numbers will never provide an early warning signal, as the important cyclical signal is buried by the non-cyclical jobs like education and healthcare, which can go 50 years without contracting. At EPB Research, we focus on the construction and manufacturing portions of the labor market in detail, uncovering the signals within residential construction and durable goods manufacturing that provide the earliest warning signs that the business cycle has to offer. To see this framework applied to current data every week, you can join the free EPB Research newsletter by clicking on the link in the description box below. When you sign up, you also get our free housing cycle guide, which shows you the exact sequence of how job losses develop in the residential construction sector, the most important sector in the entire economy. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.